Hello! Happy Saturday. I already went live in my group today, so I know what day it is now. I looked it up. It's Saturday in this weird time before the new year, after Christmas. It's like the Twilight Zone. Say hello. Don't be a creepy neighbor. It's a safe space. Hi, Sheila. How was your Christmas? Hey again, Grace. How are you feeling? I know, like, after all of the emotional hoopla of Christmas, a lot of people are kind of like coming down off of an anxiety high this week and this weekend. So tell me how you're feeling. I hope you're feeling great. But I just wanted to get on and chat a little bit because I feel like moms right now especially are the ones having to come down off of the high. Hey again, Shamika! I literally was just live in my group talking about something, and now here I am for you guys, for the rest of the world. Hello. Anywho, say hello. If you're catching the replay, let me know. Comment as if it's live. All the things. Y'all are the best. I love to talk to you, so talk to me. If what I'm saying resonates with you, awesome. If you feel like you need to share it with your friends, awesome. I really appreciate it. But anyway, someone sent me this Facebook post. They forwarded it to me. And I seriously, it hit me right between the eyes because this was me in the beginning of 2017, probably from 2015 to 2017, 2 year span. Really, really hard time in my life. Anyway, this post says, "You got this, mama. Stay strong. Severe anxiety that doesn't subside, constant worrying if she's doing the right thing, overwhelmed by the simplest of things, worrying if her anxiety depression is ruining her kids, trying to be a good wife, making sure everyone is cared for, scared to talk about how she really feels, doesn't know who she is outside of being a mother, doesn't want to be judged, doesn't know how to let go, doesn't trust a single soul with her kids, has rage that comes out of nowhere." Lordy. That was true for me. "Feels like she is failing on every single front, wears the same clothes, hasn't worn makeup in months, needs to take care of herself but feels guilty for doing so, feels like she's drowning, needs support but won't ask for it or accept it, puts too much pressure on herself." And that's all it says. And I'm not really sure where this post was going or whatever, but I think they were just saying, you know, I see you. You know, you're not to the point where you're ready to speak up for yourself yet, but I see you. I know what you're going through, and I'm here for you. And so if any of you are feeling like that, let me know, because I feel 3 of these at least on a daily basis as a mom. And I just feel like we put so much pressure on ourselves to be a good mom. And what does that even mean? What does being a good mom even mean? Tell me what it means to you. Because to me, I've finally figured out that it doesn't mean packing their lunches every day, spending 17 hours of outside time with them every day, making sure that only nutritious things hit their lips or only things like that's a lot of work. And there are some moms that rock that. But that doesn't mean that my kids aren't just as healthy and loved as your kids are. And so being a good mom is different to every single person, but that's not even the point. The point of this, hey Mina, how Farah? The point of this is that I see you and I've been there. And it was, again, 2015 to 2017 that this was me. And I was at a point where I had no choice but to make a change. I had gained a lot of weight. I was not emotionally stable. Like, at all. I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to clean the house. I didn't want to do the laundry. I didn't want to do anything. And it felt like a physical, not just mental, but like a physical chore to get out from under the covers. Like the covers on my bed were this sacred, holy space that were covering up all the things that I wasn't dealing with. And all the things that I wasn't saying out loud, and all of the things that I wasn't doing that I wanted to be doing. And if I was asleep, I didn't have to deal with it. I didn't have to feel anything. I didn't have to do anything. And sleep was an escape, and that's all I wanted to do. So I was literally going to work, coming home, and feeding the kids and going to bed. I slept more than I ever have. It wasn't good sleep though, and I woke up just as exhausted as I was when I fell asleep, because there was so much going on mentally that I wasn't dealing with, that it just kept my brain going on and on and on and on and on. So one day, I'm not really sure where I heard it or what it was on, but it plays in my mind constantly. And it says, how do you want them to remember you? Because they're not going to remember the stuff. They're not going to remember the trips as much. They're not going to remember the things as much as they're going to remember how you loved them and that how you reacted to them. You are going to be the voice inside their head when they're older. What do you want that voice to sound like? And I could have died when I heard that, because the way that I was speaking to my children, the way that I was speaking to anyone, was not cool. I was not being very nice. I didn't really care anymore. I was super sarcastic. I still am sarcastic. Let's not get it twisted. But I was using sarcasm as a defense mechanism. And when I finally went to therapy, I realized, like, it was so weird. I therapized myself. Is therapized a word? I would just sit there, and she wouldn't even have to say anything, but I would just sit there and be like, yeah, so I use sarcasm as a defense mechanism for this, 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 and this. And she was like, oh, good. So you're aware of it. I was aware of it, but I wasn't doing anything about it. And I was aware of the way that I was talking to people, but I wasn't doing anything about it. What was happening was that I was screaming for attention in some form or fashion, and not in a healthy way. And it wasn't going to be good attention. And it was a time in my life where I was screaming for someone to come rescue me. But what I didn't know was that I was going to have to rescue myself. And there's so many, like, I don't know, thoughts about that. Like, I'll rescue myself being negative. But you can co-create your universe. They'll tell you to pray and they'll tell you to do all those things, which is great. But you also have to move. I saw this meme the other day. I talk about memes all the time. I saw this meme the other day that was like, if I ask God to move mountains, I'm going to wake up with a shovel in my hand. And you can pray all you want to, but you also have to move. And so that one thing, that one line, you will be the voice in your children's head, made me move. And I had just been relying on other people to make the change for me, and like hoping that money fell out of the sky and resources fell out of the sky and all of this stuff. And I wasn't doing anything. I was waiting for it to fall in my lap, which was stupid. And I decided, you know what? I feel like if I lose weight, I'm going to feel better about myself, and I'm going to make all these changes and blah, blah, blah. And so it was like, okay, here we go. And everything I had ever tried before hadn't worked, just solely because mentally I wasn't ready to change. But when I heard that statement that day, I was here for it. And so, oh, here they come. Hold on. So, anyway, I might have to swipe the comments over, because I think there are some weirdos getting in here. Anywho, I made the change. I lost the weight, and I was still like, blah. Like, I thought I was more confident in my appearance, and I was more confident in the clothes I could wear again, and I did all of that, but I still wasn't super confident in the way that I was mothering my children. I still wasn't confident in my relationship. I wasn't confident in the workplace. Like, I just didn't have, it didn't fix anything that I expected it to fix, which, of course, it was like a superficial thing. I was healthier, honestly, but it didn't fix anything because I wasn't working on this. And it wasn't until a conference that I saw Mel Robbins speak. If you don't know who Mel Robbins is, you need to look her up. She wrote the 5-Second Rule. That I realized that I was the problem. It wasn't anybody else. There wasn't anybody coming in to rescue me and be my hero. It was me. And nothing was changing because I wasn't changing it. I wasn't doing anything different. And it was funny because her story was so similar to mine. She got into this place of, bankruptcy and all these things. And she wouldn't get out of bed. And she'd set the alarm and she'd hit the snooze button 17 times, which I'm still pretty guilty of. But I'm staying in bed because I'm tired from other things and not because I just don't have the will to get up. But I'm just not a morning person, and that's something that I've learned about myself. But she was saying, get up, move, do the thing. You're going to screw it up. You're going to screw it up. It's going to happen. And I feel like as moms, we're so worried about failing in front of our kids, but I think it's so important that we fail in front of our kids so they can see us get back up. I watched a Rachel Hollis thing the other day, and it said, I hope you fail. I hope you fail. And I hope you get up again and again and again. And I hope you fail in front of the people that are watching you fail because they're not in the freaking arena with you. They bought tickets to watch you. They're not even in the arena with you. And I hope you fail in front of them, and I hope you get back up in front of them too. And what a beautiful thing for your kids to see is watch you fall and watch you get back up and watch you be relentless in the path of chasing your dreams and be relentless in making yourself happy so that you can make them happy, and being relentless in taking care of you because you're the most important person to them, and not feeling guilty for it and not having a ton of shame, and being who you are unapologetically so that they don't feel like they have to hide a single part of themselves. Not a single part. And for them to know that sometimes it's okay not to be freaking okay. They have emotions for a flippin' reason, and they're allowed to feel them. And if there's something wrong, you don't tell them to buck up and get over it. You ask them what's going on, and you help them work through it. Instead of everybody shoving everything under the rug and not dealing with anything and pretending that everything's fine, knowing that you're there for them no matter what happens, no matter what they go through, no matter what they screw up, because they've seen you do it. They've seen you get back up. They've seen you make that okay. And that no matter what, that unconditional love will always be there. So I just want you to know that I see you. I've been there, and I am crawling and creeping towards the other side. And I don't yell at my kids as much anymore. I mean, they still get in trouble because, duh, they're spawns. But, I'm a happier person. I can healthily work through things that trigger me. As my boyfriend, he experienced this earlier. But it's all because I found out, and I decided that if I need to change, it has to be my choice, and I have to move. So with all of that said, this is what we're going to be working on in the 2020 program that starts on January 6th. And if you feel like you are in this place where the light doesn't seem like it's actually at the end of this hell of a tunnel that you're in, it's time. And if you're hearing this for a reason. And I know that to be true, because the right people are on here at the right time for the right reason. And if you know that you need something to get you back up, like you feel like a complete failure in this hole of misery, and you need something to get you back up, not even go for all of these crazy goals, but just to get back up, 2020 is for you. Yes, we're going to be dreaming. Yes, we're going to be making goals, but we're also going to be working on shame and guilt and making that go the F away. So if you're ready for that, let me know. We start on January 6th. I would love to have you in there. I cannot wait to see who is going to be in this tribe for the 2020 New Year's program. And again, it's bundled with Metamorphosis right now until the 1st with a huge savings. So the New Year's 2020 is just $111 by itself. And then Metamorphosis by itself is $222, but right now together they are $277. So that's like getting 2020 half off. So, for like $55. So if this seems like a good investment for you for where you are in your life, send me a message and we'll get you the link and we'll get you in there. And I can't wait to see lives change this year, this decade. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait. I love you. I see you. See you soon.